everyone, my name is Reem Abumeri. If you don't know me, I'm the Diversity Chair of CAB. And today, if you're joining us, you are a part of the She's the Boss event.
Hi everyone, my name is Claudia. I am the Viking Ventures Executive Chair, but I'm really excited to join Reem today in this wonderful interview. You guys will really enjoy it.
All right, so I thought instead of me introducing our very special guest, I'd let our special guest introduce herself, so.
Perfect. Hi everybody, my name is Emily Harpel, and I am the owner of Art of Sucre, which is a gourmet cotton candy company, and you guys may or may not have seen me actually on campus in your student union a couple times, as I've worked with CAB pretty frequently in 2019 and 2020.
Awesome, thank you for being here.
Yeah, thank you for having me, absolutely.
All right, so our very first question is, what inspired you to start Art of Sucre?
Yeah, so in 2015, I had just graduated from university with a degree in psychology. And my plan was to go on to graduate school and get my master's in clinical and mental health counseling. So I did all of the fun preparation in applying to grad school, doing all of that. And there was one program specifically I really wanted to get in, and that was at the University of Akron. And so when I applied, they reached out and said, hey, we got your application. There's good news and there's bad news. The bad news is that we filled the cohort before we even got a chance to look at your application. But the good news is we are willing to kind of hang on to it until the following semester, and we'll kind of take a look at you then. And so I was fresh out of college. I was getting married. I was engaged with no plans. You can't do a ton with a psych degree, just a bachelor. So I really had no backup plan. So fast forward to March of 2016 is when I got married. And through that process, I was on Pinterest, like I feel like most couples are when they're planning their weddings, and saw cotton candy as one of the options to give out as favors. And while I didn't actually want it at my wedding, I just saw the idea and thought that it was really cute. And so I couldn't let it go. And on the way back from my honeymoon, my husband and I drove 20 hours in one day. We weren't old enough to rent a rental car, so we couldn't fly. And so we had a lot of quality time together. It was great. And I kind of looked at him, and Drew's actually 2 years younger than I am, so he was still in college. And I was like, hey, I have this idea. I want to start this cotton candy company and give it this crazy unique spin. And I fully expected him to say, girl, you're crazy, go get a real job. And he didn't. And he was like, no, I think you need to do this. This is a really good idea. So a month later, I had my LLC. A month after that, I got my first machine, and then the rest is kind of history.
Oh my gosh, I love that.
Yeah.
That's so amazing. Okay, so the next question is, could you have imagined your success from where you first began your business?
That is such a loaded question. I want to say yes and no. So I grew up in a family of entrepreneurs, and so that was not a foreign concept to me. Most people are like, weren't your parents crazy disappointed that you didn't go to graduate school and you started a business? Well, I feel like your average parent would say that's insane. Mine were actually really supportive. So I had a great support system as far as kind of helping me be able to see the opportunities that were in front of me. I don't know that I was prepared for it to kind of be where it's at now and where it's going and in the timeline that it's happening. So that's kind of a loaded question. So a yes, no, somewhere in the middle, if that makes sense.
And obviously I know this year has been really unpredictable, even though 2021's only been a few days, but 2020 was definitely a year, and that's all I'll say about that. But just as far as the flavors that you're creating with the cotton candy, and I know you have online orders coming up, what can customers expect flavor-wise or ordering online? Do you have a personal favorite by chance?
Yeah, absolutely. So we made the decision in probably the middle of 2020 to really pivot and focus on our e-commerce and our online shop, which should be launching here very soon, end of February, early March, which is exciting. And when that launches, we're going to have 7 flavors, which will be our 6 classic, which are champagne, my personal favorite, orange bourbon, pina colada, then watermelon, bubblegum, and sugar cookie. And then that 7th flavor is a limited edition that will rotate in and out depending on the season. We're not sure if it'll be monthly just yet. I think kind of depends on the demand. But we'll also have our cotton candy glitter bombs, which is really what we're known for on social media and TikTok and things like that. So it's a little bit of cotton candy that you drop inside of a clear and bubbly beverage, whether that's champagne, a Sprite, a White Claw, sparkling water, whatever. You drop it in, the cotton candy dissolves, adding just a little bit of flavor, nothing too much, and then a glitter floats out. So those will be available in packs of 6. And we're really, really excited about those.
So with those like online orders, like how does that kind of work? Like with your website, like what can people kind of expect with that?
Yeah, so we're actually in the process of completely overhauling our website on the back end. So if you go to our website now, you're going to be very confused. Previously, we focused a lot on in-person events and cart service, and obviously that's not happening. And honestly, who knows when that's going to happen again. So our new website will really reflect an online store. The one that we have now tells a little bit about my story, about cart service, those options, but that's all going away. And we will be launching really just a store where you can purchase. We're expecting the demand to be pretty crazy when we first launch. So it's going to be a little bit of trial and error on our end to see what works, what we can keep up with our current infrastructure and our space and all of that. But it should be crazy straightforward and user-friendly as far as purchasing, as long as we aren't sold out constantly. We're hoping that's not the case.
And I know you mentioned TikTok, and I love TikTok, and I just wanted to first congratulate you with the big following that you have on the app. And just like, how do you feel having over 1 million followers on TikTok?
Thank you. And wow, yeah, that has been such a roller coaster, and mainly one of the things that I was kind of referring to earlier about the I guess the success component, whatever success is or however you measure that. That was not something that I was expecting and to happen that quickly. It has been such a gift. It has also been a huge learning curve on my end for like my emotional, mental health, all of those things, as well as just being consistent and creating new ideas. It's truly its own entity, and I'm obsessed with it. I feel like with everybody else, but it's a weird place to be in when you do it for pleasure, but also for work. It's a weird balance to strike.
That's really cool. I myself am also a huge TikTok fan, so that's amazing. Like 1 million followers is not a small feat. How does it feel to kind of like have your own business that you can call your own, that you created yourself from the beginning, that you can call your own, that you created yourself from the beginning? I mean, I know that I have like tons of other friends too that own their small businesses, and what kind of inspires you to keep going?
Yeah, it is. When I say this, I don't say this lightly, like it is truly one of the most incredible things that I have ever been able to experience, to build something from the ground up, and then to have other people just as interested or excited about what we do as I am is an indescribable feeling. That is for sure. It is also an endless amount of work. I don't think people really see that side of things. Owning your own business is not for the faint-hearted. That is for sure. I wouldn't change anything about it for the world, but it's definitely been a learning curve as far as work-life balance, figuring things out on my own. Google is my best friend, having to admit that I literally know pretty much nothing and that's okay. You figure it out as you go, but I could not see myself honestly doing anything else but working for myself or owning my own business, whether it's cotton candy now or in the future or down the road. It is definitely something that I cherish for sure.
Thank you. And thank you just like for being such an inspiring lady yourself. Like you not feeling that you know what you're doing is like not coming off at all to us. Like we think you are doing amazing. We've tried your cotton candy in person and it's delicious. And yeah, thank you so much for being a part of just my event and just a part of everyone's happiness, like with a hint of like a little sugar, you know what I mean? But yeah, I really appreciate you talking to us today.